I can't take time out to congratulate you for doing what you should have done. I'm happy that you're here, but you're not going to get praise from me. And that is the thing that I really want people to remember. It's not about you. If you're looking for praise and validation for taking an anti-racist position, then you're not an ally. You're an attention seeker. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me to talk about this, and that is what to do with people's performative solidarity. What do we do with people who are sort of like coming online and who are, you know, posting their black square for Blackout Tuesday or whatever, and, you know, pushing themselves as somebody who cares about the black struggle, when you yourself were perpetrating a lot of racist things or standing by and being silent whilst your black colleagues, classmates were being bullied for their race. So where was the energy then? Where was the energy then? And this is I get it. Like, do you know, I so get it. Like, and we all get it. I think we all have to make this decision. Whenever someone comes forward as an ally for us, I think we all have to sit there and decide and say, okay, am I gonna accept this allyship? Do I accept this allyship? Does this person really represent me? Do I believe that? And I think that is a struggle that a lot of us can relate to, like 100% directly can relate to. Now, what do we do with all that energy? Well, that's the thing. In my view, what I've started to do is this. I'm not gonna be bothered with you. I'm definitely not gonna be bothered with you that you are here now. So I'm not concerned with how long it took you to align yourself against the things that are directly oppressing and marginalizing me. And the reason I say that is because there are a lot of people who I could be a better ally for. I don't understand every lived experience. You know, for example, I'm not a queer woman. I don't know what that is. That's not my experience. So I started from a position of not knowing that. And it's through having friends who are queer women that I begin to learn and I begin to understand. And there are some things that I could have just said and perpetuated. The same way being a trans ally, you know? There's been circumstances where I've used a turn of phrase which actually has misgendered somebody, and I didn't know that, but then I learned, you know, they don't harbor resentment towards me for not knowing. And I don't go looking for a pat on the back because I know now. Does that make sense? So that's when I'll accept your allyship. I don't mind if you're late to the party as an ally. I really don't mind. But what I do mind if this situation now becomes a you party. It's not about you. And that's something that I tweeted, and I tweeted that because it was in response to someone within the legal community who retweeted a picture of Jedward. If you're not familiar with Jedward, they are a culturally appropriating duo from Ireland with these big high top haircuts a la your favorite 80s rappers from the United States, i.e. black hairstyles, but we move, it's cool. So they're famous for that. They were on a show called X Factor, and they were seen at the Black Lives Matter protests, which is amazing, glad. Now, the problem I had was when this legal person retweeted this and retweeted the image and said, you know, who would have thought that Jedward would be at the center of the resistance? They're not. And I think this is something that Cole Sprouse also said. Don't make it about me. It's not about the allies that show up. You know, you're supposed to show up. That's the point. I can't take time out to congratulate you for doing what you should have done. I'm happy that you're here, but you're not gonna get praise from me. And that is the thing that I really want people to remember. It's not about you. If you're looking for praise and validation for taking an anti-racist position, then you're not an ally. You're an attention seeker. And that's not what we need. And you may as well be doing nothing if that's what you're doing. If you're looking for all the attention to be on you because you've showed up now, what about the black people that have showed up for themselves every single day with no one to reward them, but in fact people punishing them for showing up for themselves? You know, it's not about your accolades, and it is very careful. I think we mustn't allow, you know, white people who are showing the solidarity they should show to become the center of the narrative around race relations and the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't think that's correct, and I don't think that's fair. Now, that's my words on that. Moving on to a slightly bit similar topic, slightly different but similar. People have also asked me to touch on black celebrities sort of doing this whole like, we're all humans, peace and love, black people need to stop killing each other first. Right. That's a difficult argument. That is a really difficult argument. And to me, it relates to when you speak to people, Africans or people from like predominantly black countries not in the United Kingdom, not in the United Kingdom, and you talk to them and they bring up issues of tribalism and how black people can be racist to each other and it can be very violent, and I agree, and I think that's true. And I think what we should do less of is, rather than trying to say the reason someone else is oppressing you is because you're oppressing yourself, I think rather than say that, I think we can look more strategically and we can say this: we are stronger and more united against assaults upon us as people, if we see each other, for all of our different strengths and weaknesses, as unified. And I think gaining that unity is difficult because we still live in a world where if you are black, you have had to consider what's gonna feed me. Is my activism gonna feed me? Is standing up for myself in this workplace gonna feed me? Is wearing my natural hair to this interview gonna feed me? We've had to make those kinds of a decision. And I think the more we empathize with each other that we have had to make those kinds of decisions, and the more that we see each other through that lens first, I think then we move away from divisive rhetoric within our community, and we move more towards a position where, as black people, we don't see each other with the differences between us, but we see the commonalities and opportunity. So, in summary, I don't think a lot of celebrities always are the perfect people to look to. They're just people. And I'm saying that as someone who is a stan. You know, I'm a Nicki Minaj stan, but she's a person. You know, I don't look to Nicki for any sort of, you know, perfection politically. She's not a politician. I don't have a political party that I would say I look to in that way either. I don't look to anyone like that. I look for myself. I look for my experiences. I look for what I can learn from others' experiences. I look from what I can learn. I don't put celebrities on this pedestal. And I think there's a capacity and a risk to be very disappointed if you put celebrities up on these kinds of pedestals. They're not always gonna impress you. And that's the sad reality. You know, entertainers, influencers, they've got a role, they've got a job, but they're not a perfect spokesperson. They just have a platform. They're just like you or I. And you or I, you know, just like you or I, we're very capable of saying dumb things on social media. We all do it. That's why there's a delete button, you know? Hey guys, it's Blessing. I apologize as I can't turn my camera on because I look crazy. So we're going to do this way. Now, if you want to apply pressure for all of your friends, all of the people who showed up by posting a black square on Blackout Tuesday or since then have been sharing Black Lives Matter posts, but you want them to keep that energy in real life, then follow up with them. Ask them, what have you done since you posted that post? Share resources with them. Ask them what donations they've made. Ask them what uncomfortable or difficult conversations they've had, but keep applying pressure and continue to apply pressure because we need that allyship, but we need it to be genuine. Let's go.